This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast. Play-by-play, whatever the heck you want to call it, of course, the Vancouver Canucks, the Edmonton Oilers, 8 o'clock, top of the clock sharp. We'll be getting underway with, of course, the reverse retro jerseys. Once again, it's been a while since we last got those into action, and of course the reason I'm wearing mine again yet another stream in a row is simply because the Oilers are undefeated. They are perfect when I wear this jersey on stream. Just saying. It might be a very, very small one game sample size, but it's something we got to look to keep going, because let me tell you, I am very sure the Oilers are actually, in fact, going to end up losing this one. If you want a spoiler alert, I'm predicting a loss in this one. So it's going to be tough. I mean, right? You go into a game expecting a loss, and then typically the Oilers will go up like 2-0, and then they either blow the lead or else they get the job done, and you're never sure which it's going to be until about the time the game is over. So that's where we find ourselves this evening, is a simple fact that we are sitting just about 8 o'clock this evening, getting ready for what's going to be a good hockey game tonight, I hope. Once again, just want to remind everybody the chat is off tonight. You get to listen to me do play-by-play if you want to stick around. I mean, realistically, you got Jack Michaels on the call tonight, and I know a lot of Oilers fans that watch on TV are always excited when Jack's on the call on the Sportsnet telecast, so I'm not going to be jealous. I'm not going to be upset that you guys don't want to stick around tonight. That's all good. Appreciate anyone that tunes in and out throughout this live stream, or if you're catching the replay of the stream, say you don't have access to the game, you're only able to watch the highlights or something, and you want to listen to how the whole game sounded, hey, you know what? Hopefully I can provide that for you. Like I said, tonight, no game review, because of course, well, I'm going to hopefully stream the whole game, and then I got to go to bed and get to work for another hard grinding day. But that said, is the fact that I guess we got to see if I can make it through the full game first. So if I can find anything in terms of an Edmonton Oilers lineup, I guess that's what you're asking for first. And then we'll get things going underway here against Vancouver, top of the clock, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So let's see, what do we got going on? They've got Gene Principe getting some social media posts out. Okay, alright, that's about it there. Not much here, there, or anywhere. Lots of transactions, and man, there is absolutely nothing going on for Oilers news in, say, the past, I don't know, 2 hours. No lineups, no nothing available tonight. I know Patrick Russell's supposedly going to be available this evening for us after being recalled on the emergency exemption, because James Neal TBA as to what's up with him. I guess we'll get information on that on the broadcast this evening, but we'll stay tuned and find out what happens as we get going along this evening, that is for sure. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome into tonight's Dolynny TV play-by-play only live stream here on the channel. This is the second of the format I am now running here for testing it out. Really, you know what? I've been dying to get back to doing play-by-play. I think it worked very well last game against the Flames. And secondarily to that, you know what, it's nice not to distract myself with chat. I know the chat, it makes it a little bit more special, makes it a little bit more unique, but it's also quite a distracting factor when it gets things missed during the game. I feel like I was much more engaged, much more understanding of what had happened in that Flames game the other night than what happened per se in any other game earlier this season that I've live streamed. So hoping for a repeat of that tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. That said, though, like I said earlier, expecting a loss is never going to be a good thing going in. But right, Vancouver's on a real bad slump, and secondarily to that, the Oilers, they're riding quite a hot streak. So something's got to give tonight. Hopefully it's the fact that the Canucks still aren't good enough to get the job done. So I guess we'll find out as we move along this evening. But if you haven't already, let me get you a favor as we get ready to get underway for this evening's hockey game. If you missed it earlier, about 6 o'clock this evening, afternoon. Sorry, I don't know what to call it most times if I'm good. See, I don't have a chat. So I don't have a place to put the video link. But definitely, if you're waiting for the game to get underway and the play-by-play to start, go to my channel page and check out the video on Adam Larson. There's about 10 minutes on that. That'll set you up for 8:09, which will be puck drop between the Canucks and Edmonton Oilers at Rogers Arena, not Rogers Place, Rogers Arena, as we get set for a battle that we haven't seen since opening night and second night of the NHL season between the Oilers and the Canucks, which is a split series at this point, by the way. The Oilers, they're holding a lot of edges all of a sudden in series, it seems, and it'll be nice to see what the Oilers bring tonight against the Vancouver Canucks, who, remember, in the first game of that series, they ended up losing, and it was a same old story, the same things that were costing us in the play-ins and late in the year last year. They cost us in that one, and then all of a sudden the Oilers figured it out and won the next one, and we started that weird 3-6 skid, right? So now we get excited for what's hopefully going to be a great game between the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers, a big-time game tonight. And let me get this underway because I'm trying to make sure we get a thumbnail. The group Selly. All right, there we go. You're watching. All right, Budsy, sounds good. Let's see what we get going tonight. Buddy got a PS5. Guy's jealous. Okay, and all right, let's see what we get going. That's all I got to say. We've got Connor McDavid after his marvelous night against the Calgary Flames. I know a lot of Flames fans were talking to me the past couple of days saying, well, you know, you must be having a really good start to the week given what the Oilers did to the Flames. And I'll tell you, without Connor McDavid, that game would have been the sketchiest game we've won all season, right? Getting crazily outshot. Just absolutely getting it handed to us at times. Getting out-hit. Having two guys get injured. And right, like it would not been anything worth writing home about if we would have scrapped it out and won a 2-1 game against Calgary, other than the fact we got 2 points. Instead, we win 7-1 on the backs of 5 points from Connor McDavid, and away we go into Vancouver on a little bit of a tear once again. But as we currently sit, it's a little bit of a sketchy assignment against Vancouver, knowing that we've lost a couple of games on highs this season, right? I think we've had, what, three win streaks in a row, all to be lost, and then started another one right away. And I mean, here you want some inconvenient math for anyone that said the Oilers season was over after that 3-6 start. Just imagine this. We've got, what, 36 games left in the season? Guess what? 36 games left in the season to make the playoffs at 64 points, which is roughly what you have to get based on needing 94 and 82 games in a regular season. If you get 64, you're good. The Oilers have 24. That means we need, what, another 40 points? Well, guess what? 20 out of the next 36 games. The Oilers only have to win 56% of their next 36 games to basically guarantee playoffs at this point. Are you kidding me? How good does that sound? It sounds doable, even for the Edmonton Oilers defense. So I guess we'll see what we can do now, as Gene Principe's got a man of many hats on his head right now, getting ready for Darnell Nurse's segment on tonight's broadcast, just out there blocking shots against Calgary. Logged 30 minutes and 1 second on February 19th, and then 32:52 on February 20th. You know, you'd be stunned the difference losing Darnell Nurse right now would make for the Oilers. Tied for first in D-man goals, tied for third in D-man points. Yeah, he's a top 5 D-man in the league by most ranks right now, which for us Oilers fans, it's a weird stretch of the imagination because that doesn't seem like something that's normally possible. But this evening we get to once again sit here and watch Darnell Nurse do his job. And don't forget Tyson Barrie, 3 goals, 11 assists in his last 12 games. Yeah, Tyson Barrie is more than a point per game player on the blue line alongside Darnell Nurse. It is insanity. He's a +4 at even strength. That's good to see as well. We don't often see our top D pairing rocking a plus, but so far so good in the past 10-15 games for the Edmonton Oilers since that losing streak and that weird streak really came to an end, and things have turned a corner rather quickly, so it's nice to see. And as I mentioned tonight, you get Louis DeBrusque and Jack Michaels on your broadcast. So if you feel, hey, I'm not doing the job good enough, and you know Jack's going to deliver a standout performance every single night, feel free, go enjoy. Trust me, I wish I could enjoy it to the fullest extent, but a guy's got to do what a guy's got to do, and you know what? Part of the YouTube gig is being live once in a while, so here I am live for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as I have no other way to watch the hockey game tonight other than sit in the basement and watch it on my gaming TV. So, it is what it is. We'll do the job. We'll sit in the chair and we'll talk hockey all evening long here until it's time to go to bed, pretty much. So, Pettersson tied the game, and then Dubois scored the OT winner for the Jets. And, of course, the Canucks lost yet another game. It's been their trend this season. The Canucks are not having a good one at all. Braden Holtby's not doing the job, nor is Mr. Thatcher Demko, so you got to stay tuned to see what Thatcher Demko brings for the Vancouver Canucks this evening. He'll be in net. I believe he is the confirmed starter for tonight's matchup, so we'll stay tuned to see what he does for us Oilers fans this evening. And yeah, those poor Canucks fans, man, I'm starting to feel for them. Like, their hopes got so high during the playoffs, and then you knew they were due for a reset, and they have come in and they are struggling out of the gate. And right, you would have probably picked Calgary or Vancouver to be in the top four, not Winnipeg, but there's Winnipeg right there in the top four. So it's the Canucks, the Oilers. Top of the clock here, 8:06 already, as we get ready for what's going to be a good hockey game. They've got some really standout graphics for this one. I don't know if it's just because it's Vancouver Edmonton or what, but they've really gone to work with this telecast this evening, 8 p.m. start. You usually get treated to this as well as I think we have to start this hockey game, but I mean, I guess how many of these pregame stuff do I really watch? All of them, it seems. I mean, I've missed a couple against Toronto and Montreal and stuff in Ottawa, but it is what it is. As we go to commercial break one last time, and then we're going to get this thing fired up, and we're going to get off and running with a hopefully great play-by-play stream. If it's your first time tuning into this new edition of Dolynny TV live streams, I do want to make note there is no live chat. Don't think you just don't see it. There is no live chat, simply so as I can bring you the benefit of me focusing on the live stream, right? Focusing on doing the play-by-play, focusing on watching the game and bringing you live play-by-play reaction, depending on what you want to call it realistically, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm an NHL broadcaster by any stretch of the imagination, nor do I want to be. I quite like my cozy little life, so to be traveling around Canada right now wouldn't be my forte by any means. So here we are, sitting here, enjoying ourselves, what's going to hopefully be a good hockey game. If you're just joining into the broadcast right now, you would have missed that right off the top of it. I said I'm expecting a loss tonight. I don't mean to be down about the Oilers. It just, right, 3-1, 3-1, 3, probably 1 tonight. It makes sense. It's the pattern. It's what it is. But can the Oilers break it? Would love to break it. And as you see, wearing the reverse retro jersey once again, which is what the Oilers are wearing on the ice at Rogers Arena this evening. But the Oilers are undefeated when I wear the reverse retro this season. It's one game out of one, but we'll take what we can get as we get to tonight's starting goalies, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you on Sportsnet anyway by Tim Hortons. I was just looking at some freshly cracked eggs there. Mike Smith will get the start for the Oilers in that beautiful reverse retro jersey. 4-0-0, 183 goals against average, and a 940 save percentage. Remember the game against Winnipeg, he got shelled. Mr. Mikko Koskinen ended up wearing the loss for the Oilers in that one, so he gets bailed out there and keeps his perfect record. However, Thatcher Demko opposing him in net, 4-7-1, 331 goals against average, and a 901 save percentage. And here we go, a drink underway. Face off at center ice. It's Draisaitl line as Leon Draisaitl wins it back to the D as Chris Russell plays it ahead into the neutral zone. Flip there, past the stick of Kyler Yamamoto, and the Oilers are into the Canucks zone. Canucks regroup behind their net, battle it up the boards. Turnover down low. Ooh, Kyler Yamamoto with the first shot of the game. Leon Draisaitl up on the puck immediately. Adam Larsson diving into the zone, bombing a little bit there as now Kyler Yamamoto finds it in the near side corner. He'll work it back, not to Dominic Cahoon, back to the point instead to Adam Larsson. Looking, waiting, and turns it over immediately to an on-waiting Vancouver Canucks stick that starts the rush back the other way. Elias Pettersson leaves it for JT Miller, blocked by Adam Larsson, who then rocks Miller into the end boards. And the Oilers trying to regroup and get back the other way, held in at the line by Alex Edler, who turns it back to Pettersson at the far side boards. He'll work it back to the blue line, see it pushed out of the zone, and that'll mean a line change for the Draisaitl line as the Oilers get the second line combination of the night over the boards. It looks like it's Connor McDavid's line out there. Nugent Hopkins, yes, Puljujärvi, and oh my goodness, a sharp angle shot for Bo Horvat. Fools Mike Smith, who has no clue how that puck went into the net, and it is 1-0 for the Vancouver Canucks to start this one off. I'll get the scoreboard up for you, ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment's time here, but my goodness, a weird angle goal that they didn't actually even show on the broadcast camera angle they were using. As Bo Horvat fires this puck, and it just goes right short side, completely through Mike Smith, who was all kinds of angled, but not hard enough on his post. And you see he's very soft holding that post, and he leans off just as that shot comes in, and it goes right through him. As now back the other way, the Canucks again, another shot. Mike Smith turns that one away, and now behind the net, the Oilers regroup as Connor McDavid gets into the zone, and now away the Oilers break out of their own zone right to Tyson Barrie, who's carrying it up through neutral ice territory. He's into the Canucks zone, takes a massive hit there, stood up as he entered the line, and now yes, Puljujärvi behind the Canucks net, near side corner, comes up with the puck. The Oilers working it, Connor McDavid coming out of the corner, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins now near side boards, setting it up, half wall, shot comes from Tyson Barrie, up and out of play. Schmidt and Pettersson get the assists on the Bo Horvat goal, and the captain of the Vancouver Canucks in the reverse retros themselves, the blue with that gradient green on the bottom, get themselves the 1-0 lead. And it's just a weird play. I don't know if it deflects off of the stick of Tyson Barrie. It seems to go right through underneath Mike Smith or up over top of the pad or something. Off the face-off, Evan Bouchard shoots the puck. Big save there by Thatcher Demko, and the Oilers sustaining a little bit of pressure down low as the Canucks struggle to get it out of their own end. Now flipped ahead, held in at the line once again by the Oilers. Tyler Myers, the big man of the Canucks, finds it out there. Again, another turnover for the Oilers. Fired shot over top of the net. And this is the third line going to work for the Oilers. The grind line, the nitty-gritty dirt line, whatever you want to call them. Out there creating a little bit of havoc in the Canucks zone for the Oilers as Evan Bouchard turns it back at his own blue line now to his D partner, and ahead Caleb Jones out there for the Oilers, his first shift of the game. Puck finds the Canucks stick in their own zone. 17:36 to go in this first period. 1-0 for the Canucks as they headman it ahead through the neutral zone. And that there is played off the end boards right to a waiting Alex Chiasson, who chips it out into neutral ice territory. Now comes an on-rushing Patrick Russell. Tried to leave it for Gaetan Haas, but that was broken up at the last second. And Patrick Russell throws a hit, hits the ice. The Canucks break out of their own zone. 3-on-2 developing. Chris Russell, nifty little breakup. Maybe enough. Not enough. Shot coming from the Canucks. Blocked by an Oilers player in front. 17 minutes to play in the first period as we've gone 3 minutes. It's a 1-0 lead for the Vancouver Canucks as they'll break out of their own zone here. Right through the middle to JT Miller, who cuts through to the boards far side. Now in behind the Oilers net. Broken up there niftily by Darnell Nurse, who plays it ahead to Leon Draisaitl. Now Tyson Barrie to Darnell Nurse, who swings it ahead through the neutral zone back into Canucks territory. Another Canucks territory turnover. And Kyle Yamamoto sees his weak shot blocked by a Canucks leg, and that'll force Darnell Nurse back to Tyson Barrie within the Oilers zone as Barrie makes a nifty move around a man, and he'll start out for the Oilers through the neutral zone now. They're working, and it'll be Draisaitl now off the pass from Dominic Cahoon. Cahoon back to Draisaitl near side boards as that's a shot and blocked in front. Kyle Yamamoto sees that one go by him to Quinn Hughes, who rims it around the boards, and the Canucks this time, instead of turning it over like they have 2 or 3 times already this game, get out of their own zone, and the Oilers retreat in their territory. Now Russell to Draisaitl, who are fired ahead. That one bobbled, and it'll be lifted ahead by Nugent Hopkins, cutting in on Demko, taken down. No penalty coming up. A nice body check there from the Canucks defense. Breaks up a good chance. Cut to the net for Nugent Hopkins. McDavid back to the point. Larson, the shot fired into the corner. Yes, Puljujarvi will find it now. Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins back to Puljujarvi along the end boards. McDavid now has it behind the net. McDavid back to Puljujarvi. That one gets past him. Schmidt finds the puck there, and he'll break it out into neutralized territory. Chris Russell, as we've had some end-to-end action to start this game. Chris Russell will dump it in off the end boards. Jujhar Khaira, his line back out there for the Oilers. They're going to try and get this going after the top line sustained a little bit of pressure. The Oilers with one shot through 5 minutes. The Canucks not much better with only two. As they'll get a shot here from the blue line, swallowed up on potentially the tip. In front, Mike Smith makes another save, his second of the night after that fluky weird one that beat him to open up the game for the Vancouver Canucks. Ladies and gentlemen, hot start for both teams here, cycling a little bit in the own zones, creating turnovers, what have you. It's been an interesting one, especially the baffling one, the one that got the Canucks started by Bo Horvat. Interesting stat here, Sportsnet now showing 0 for 11 are the Canucks when the opponents score first. Well, thankfully, I guess if they're looking to break any streaks, they have scored first as Caleb Jones clears the zone off the face-off win by the Oilers. That'll allow the Oilers to set the puck in on Demko, who will come out to play it. He'll play it around the boards, and this one's not going to stay in the zone for Adam Larsson, who thought he had a shot at it. Now, Oilers trying to make the play through the neutral zone. They're going to chip it ahead. It's going to hit off a man's head, but it's going to be offside at the line. Tyler Ennis in that sharp retro jersey. Man, you gotta imagine. I gotta figure out what to put on the back of my jersey, that's for sure. Jujhar Khaira, Josh Archibald, they go off for a line change alongside Tyler Ennis. For the Oilers, 14:35 to work with in this first period. Just a couple of shots on net you seem could possibly change this game. A 1-0 game for the Vancouver Canucks as the faceoffs at center ice. Draisaitl, he'll tie it up and Yamamoto will push it ahead. Canucks retreating into their own territory, chased down by Kailer Yamamoto, looking for yet another turnover. This one through the neutral zone. It's going to hop, skip, and a jump back onto a Canucks stick back in their own territory. They'll try it again. They'll load up and get it off the boards this time down into Mike Smith, who's waiting there for the puck. He'll play it all the way to the point. Big save on the point shot there, Mike Smith. And now this one back into the near side wall, just kind of tied up there between Larson and the Canucks player. And there you go, 14 minutes officially left on the clock as Dominic Cahoon gives chase, setting the Canucks. Quinn Hughes back into his own red line, in his own goal line, whatever you want to call it, as this one's going to once again come out to Mike Smith. He'll play the puck across, tipped ahead there, and all kinds of Canucks pressure leads to a chance here for Jesse Puljujarvi to get down into Canucks territory, but not to be had as the Canucks will fire it once again back into Oilers territory. And for about the third time in a minute, Mike Smith puck handles the puck to a defender, and the Oilers are out of their own zone, creating pressure in the Canucks zone now. The top line looking for Puljujarvi. Backdoor Bouchard shot. Save Demko. Beautiful play by McDavid to get that puck across to Evan Bouchard, but not to be. And now, yes, Puljujarvi behind the net looking for Nugent Hopkins. He'll play it off the half wall. Back to Bouchard, who goes across to Caleb Jones. This shot fired wide of the net, and McDavid regroups behind the net. Once again, there's Evan Bouchard. Shot fired, tipped in front by Puljujarvi, but a save made by Demko. And this one on the shot there will go up and out of play by Darnell Nurse. Look at that one. What a beauty play, and what a shot by Bouchard. But an old school save from Thatcher Demko keeps it a 1-0 game for the Vancouver Canucks. All right, play-by-play done for a moment. Let me get you the Sportsnet scoreboard, and let's get into this one here. Oh my goodness, I didn't even use my intro. Danny, if you're watching, I apologize on that one. I've totally blanked. Thought I had things going. No wonder I didn't have a clue what was going on. Anyway, let's get this going. Change that 7-1 scoreboard out for a 1-0 Vancouver Canucks scoreboard. And hopefully one that changes up a little bit from here. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's edition of Edmonton Oilers play-by-play here on the channel. It's been a good little game so far. The Oilers, a couple of great chances in front of the net. I think that Yamamoto look was really good, but a block shot prevented that from being anything special. That Evan Bouchard chance might be the best chance of the period if the Oilers don't score a goal here. And that would be rather unfortunate because that was a really good look turned away by Thatcher Demko in an old school kind of half stand-up, half butterfly look. And it was a really nifty little glove save off the tip. And unfortunately keeps the Oilers off the scoreboard for now, at least. For now, right? That's what we say. We've got time remaining in this one. It's 12:57 to go in this first period. It was Bo Horvat, his 9th of the season, from Nate Schmidt and Elias Pettersson to open the scoring for the Oilers, or Vancouver Canucks, in this one against the Oilers. Major part of the game for which team tonight, Louis DeBrusque? It's going to be the last 11 games for both clubs. The Canucks 2-7-2 with a -16 goal differential and an .876 save percentage. Difference here for the Oilers, 9-2-0, +17, and a .918 save percentage. That's pretty crazy if I don't say so myself. All things considered for the Oilers, is now the top line still out there for the Oilers. This one's going to be worked down back to Nuge. Puljujärvi sees it hop over top of his stick. A pinch there at the blue line. Briefly keeps the puck in and might keep it in even longer if Nugent Hopkins is able to battle his man. He's not. Edler rides him off the puck, and the Canucks are going to start out of their own zone. Bo Horvat dumps it off to Tanner Pearson. Ooh, tip in front by Horvat. Keeps that puck from going in, or else it was going in. That was a nifty little tip that just goes completely wide. Causes a little bit of chaos, and a shot from the point swallowed up by Mike Smith for a face-off with 12:27 to go in the first period. 5-3 the shots for the Canucks in this one. All kinds of deflected right there, and it actually goes off the skate of Bo Horvat. Would have been a save for Mike Smith if it was on net by the looks of it, but then the D-to-D one-timer ends up a save for Mike Smith. 12:27, a face-off to his left. Tied up there by the fourth line, shot coming, blocked in front. And the Oilers should come up with this puck. Alex Chiasson into the boards. It's going to be turned over to the Canucks briefly. Chiasson battling the end boards there, looking to come up with this puck at Rogers Arena. As Patrick Russell sees this one shot off his shin pads. The Canucks come up with it down low in the Oilers zone. Now work back to the blue line. It's going to be a shot, no, a pass. And there's the one-timer deflected off the stick of Adam Larsson. And up and out of play, 20 seconds. Bleed off the clock, and we got a face-off with 12 minutes to go in this first period. My goodness, there's been some good action, that's for sure, and hey, we'll take it. As Mike Smith, he's starting to settle in, make some Mike Smith saves. One goal is not going to be the end of the world. I mean, we don't have Cam Talbot in net no more, so it should be good. As Mike Smith stopped 20 of 21 shots February 19th versus the Calgary Flames and was very disruptive. That's the term we use to describe that game for him. As the linesman goes tumbling, it's going to be a shot from the point for Tyler Myers, and that is a 2-0 goal for the Vancouver Canucks. A brutal face-off for the Oilers, and Tyler Myers left all alone at the point. You know what he does best, and he does that right there and just absolutely cranks it home past Mike Smith, who I don't even think had a chance on this one. The Canucks trip up the linesman. The puck comes free. Juju Arcaro, not a clue where it is. Nobody really has a clue where it is until it finds the stick of Tyler Myers. And that is just a blast cannon from the point from the big man. And it goes actually off of the stick, deflected off the stick of Tyler Ennis. And that is why it beats Mike Smith. So there you go. Fair to say Mike Smith didn't have much of a chance on that one. The Canucks' sixth shot of the game is a 2-0 lead for them as Ennis loses that face-off after Caro's waved out. This one offside, and the stick whacks the defenseman in the head, and it'll be a offside call against the Canucks as they touch that one up. 11:47 to go in this first period. A 2-0 lead for Vancouver. Don't want to say I told you so, but I seem to have a good feeling when it's about to be an Oilers loss. Now, you know what? There's still, 51 minutes and 47 seconds to turn this one around. Tyler Myers, third goal of the season, assisted by Brandon Sutter, who I'm sure Canucks fans are happy to see get on the board. A shot from outside of the zone hits Thatcher Demko, and the Canucks just about start back the other way, turned back by the stick of Caleb Jones, who's been a little bit more noticeable than earlier in the season, maybe just because we're looking for him to start this hockey game, but a couple of good plays to start this one off, at least clearing the zone and chipping one ahead that didn't result in a turnover to the Canucks or anything. 11:20 as the Oilers have it briefly behind the Canucks net. They come up with it, and now this puck D-to-D catch in the Canucks zone, and fought out into neutral territory. Stopped by Mike Smith on the dump in, and Evan Bouchard will leave it there for Caleb Jones, who's looking to make a play and looking to start a breakout for the Oilers. He'll play it to the winger, and now the Oilers through the neutral. They're gaining speed and momentum, and it looks like it's going to be a shot from Dominic Cahoon, who briefly had it bobbled in front off the deflection, almost to Kyler Yamamoto's stick, but couldn't get it done. And now the Draisaitl line chasing the Canucks all over their own zone as the Canucks finally break out, and they'll start back the other way. Elias Pettersson, stick to skate, and he goes for the shot up and over top of the net. Now JT Miller busts in. He's looking for a lane to the net. Tyson Barrie not giving him one, and Darnell Nurse will give him a ride as he gets the puck to the blue line. This one comes all the way around the boards now to Brock Besser, who will leave it there for Elias Pettersson. Draisaitl battling Pettersson, can't beat him to the puck, stays more middle, and Pettersson to the boards looking to get this one back to the blue line. Tipped there briefly and out of the Oilers zone as the Canucks will start back immediately the other way as the Oilers go for a line change. Maybe a not so ideally timed one, but this one works out just dandy for the Oilers as the puck came out of their own zone once again on a bad deflection off the boards. Now this one, a pass to the slot by the Canucks. Not much happening there, and the Oilers will get it back near side corner. Tyson Barrie, he's looking to get out from behind his own net. Two Canucks on him, all kinds of pressure. He'll fire it across and find an on-waiting stick, and now Darnell Nurse looking for that puck. This one deflects off the back of Jesse Puljujärvi's leg and into the corner, and the Canucks will come up with it behind their own net. 9:30 to go in the first period. 2-0 Vancouver. This puck's fired into the Oilers zone, just about out of the reach of Darnell Nurse, who's still out there. He's been out there a while, and I'd imagine now he peels for the line change. Yes, Puljujärvi, he shoots the puck, but man, his stick explodes. 9:15 to go, and the Canucks will get it back going the other way into Oilers territory. Adam Larsson comes up with that puck, just a little bit of a reach to get it to Chris Russell. Can't get it out of the zone. This one deflects up and off a stick and out of play with 9:01 left on the clock. The 2-0 lead still intact for the Vancouver Canucks. Horvat and Myers getting the job done. And the Oilers, they'd like to get things going here for something, that's for sure. As this has not been the start you'd want, but more or less the start I'd say I expected out of the Oilers this evening. Unfortunately, it's tough, but we'll take what we can get and hopefully turn this one around a little bit here and get this one going. As the Oilers outshot so far 6-4 by the Canucks, 10-5 the hits for the Oilers. As Dallas Aikens would say, you know what, we're chasing the game. 6-4 the face-off wins for the Oilers, except, that Tyler Myers one, a costly one. You win but don't win, and you end up losing it back to Myers, who gets it going. The Oilers have no giveaways, and the Oilers have no takeaways, but the Canucks have 3 giveaways, and they were almost costly in their own zone. They've just gotten the legs down in the lane and blocked some shots and gotten the job done so far. But my goodness, that was an absolute cannon off the stick of Myers, deflected by Ennis back of the net. And I guess that's the problem, right? You look at that fluky one for Bo Horvat that Mike Smith just has no clue where that puck is when it gets on its way to the net. And then you look at the also shot from Myers that gets deflected off the face-off loss and stick of Tyler Ennis, who got in the lane just at the last second. It's tough. It's tough, but the Oilers, they've got to respond and get the job done and see if we can't end up pulling out of this 2-0 slump and get going. No power plays to either team so far. So that's the other side to keep in mind right now, is things aren't looking good so far. But guess we'll find out as this one, Connor McDavid, the highlights from the Saturday game. You know what, if we're looking for a pick-me-up, yeah, let's go back to Saturday. That 7-1 win against the Calgary Flames. Sure, we'll take it. Connor McDavid looking on the bench. He's looking for some kind of option there to see this play get underway, as it'll be in the Canucks territory. They'll find the puck, the Oilers' second line. They've done a good job all game so far of being all over the Canucks defense, trying to make them make a tough play or create a turnover, which they've done twice already this game as well. Now back the other way, the Canucks into the Oilers zone. Chris Russell trying to ride his man off the puck. Adam Larsson flicks it there. Draisaitl going for the puck. Cahoon comes up with it, and he'll play it back to Adam Larsson, who will go up now to Draisaitl, leaves it there for Yamamoto, who's speeding into the zone. Good to see Yamamoto out there for the Oilers after sustaining that big hit. Shot deflected off of Demko. The shot coming from Evan Bouchard at the blue line. The Oilers now pressing a little bit here in Canucks territory. They can't get it done. The Canucks will come back the other way and get around Caleb Jones. Evan Bouchard in behind the net now. He's battling this puck, looking for a chance to get it out. It's going to go out of the zone, and the Canucks will chase it back in the neutral territory. Levy plays it there, up ahead and tipped into the zone as Caleb Jones gives chase. The Oilers back in their own D zone. This one's going to come back the other way now. Gaetan Haas up with the puck. He's going to spin, look for it, play it down to Patrick Russell, who's got it behind the net. He's playing it there along the boards now behind, and there's Chiasson, fires the puck, shot in front, and it will go up and out of play, and the face-off in the Canucks zone. 7:29 to go in the first period. So here we go. Let me see what we got going on. Somebody's sending me pictures of their screens. As hello, Budsy. There we go. Oilers Canucks. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. That's for sure on that one. Let me see what I can do here. If I can. Oh, nope. Oilers are going to get back to it. So the face-off. Connor McDavid wins it to himself along the boards. Nugent Hopkins looking for the opportunity to muscle the man off. He does. Horvat loses the puck. McDavid now with it near side boards. He's going to look down low to Nuge, who will play it there to Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi's going to once again return it back to the point. Barry's firing a shot, blocked in front, possibly off the back of either Schmidt or Nuge, as Puljujarvi gets it back to Nuge, who will get it going back to Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi, the shot wired wide. 6:59 to go in the first period as the battle ensues along the end boards. Now McDavid has it there. He'll play it back to Puljujarvi, who's going to get in on the forecheck after the turnover of the Canucks, and unfortunately not come up with that puck. But another great line from the great shift from the top line. Canucks back the other way. This one shot on net, blocked out of the zone by the Oilers. 6:38 to go in this first period, and you got to feel it's a matter of time for that first line before they bust through in this one. They've looked dangerous on several shifts in the Canucks zone. That one, a puck off the end boards, off a couple of sticks into the glove of Mike Smith. He'll freeze the puck on the ice as Hoglander will go off for a line change. The hot rookie for the Vancouver Canucks, who I can't imagine is too happy to watch his team struggling the way they have in the past 11. But for the Oilers, you know what? They'd love to watch the Canucks struggle this lead away. And Puljujarvi just whacked that one just short side wide. And Demko not even tested on that, as the Oilers, they're going to battle this one off the face-off. They win this one clean this time. Puljujarvi, 2 goals and an assist in his last 4 games for the Oilers, according to Sportsnet. I'd be sure, but I haven't fully been paying attention, I guess. This one, back to the blue line. Canucks, shot, pass. Oof, it was a shot, pass, deflection play. Couldn't get it back door on Mike Smith, and now Tyler Ennis will play it ahead into the Canucks territory. Behind the net now, the puck finds itself going onto the tape of Jujhar Khaira, who fires that one across. And Adam Larsson will fire this one again. Another deflection, a crazy one at that goes all the way into the high glass near side corner. This one batted there by an Oilers stick, back onto a Canucks stick. It's Tyler Myers losing the puck to Josh Archibald. And the nitty-gritty dirt lines going to work here. Chris Russell, the shot. That one hits another man in front, or else saved by Thatcher Demko. But all kinds of a little bit of chaos created by Tyler Ennis in front. The Oilers have it in their own zone after the puck escaped on the rim around. And now Adam Larsson looking to make a play. He'll dump it back to Leon Draisaitl, who leaves it to absolutely nobody except Kyler Yamamoto, who, well, he decided to leave it to nobody good. Elias Pettersson came up with it. And this one's going to rim all the way around from Pettersson, who got hit back into Canucks territory. They'll work it through the neutral, and now Pettersson sets up hopefully an attack for the Canucks, but not to be for a second there. But now the Canucks, they've got it. They're walking in. The shot, the save, Mike Smith. And just a soft play there by the Oilers at their own blue line allowed the Canucks to just stand around in the Oilers zone for a few seconds with the puck intact and then fire their shot on net and create a chance for Brock Besser. You don't like to see that very often. All right, we've got a thumbnail for the live stream. Try and get some more people in here, as hopefully some people are without the ability to watch the game and need somebody to watch the game. I don't know, maybe not. I don't hope so, but you know, is what it is. As I'm trying to Open my messages. There we go. That's popping up. And let's get this going here. I gotta save the image. Ooh, look at that one. That one looking sharp. Alright, let's save and let's get this going. Sorry guys, there's some things you have to do in the live stream that aren't the prettiest. This is one of them, as Oilers Canucks. What day is today? February 23rd. Let's get it going. February 23rd it is, and let's get the live stream edited up here a little bit, and let's get a thumbnail on this live stream, because let me tell you, I can't imagine the thumbnail we're using right now looks all too pretty, as I imagine it's just the header on the old Dolynny TV channel art. So let's get it going. Oilers Canucks. Bing bang. And what are you doing now, buddy? You're sending me another photo? Works out for me. Oh, that first one works. The first one works. That's what we'll go with. There we go. Good to go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. This is Dolynny TV. We've got some time left in this first period. Hopefully a first period that'll turn around a little bit here for the Oilers. Rogers Arena, not so friendly to start the season. 2-0 for the Vancouver Canucks we currently find ourselves. The Oilers down in a hole, but you know what? Realistically, just a hole they've not necessarily dug themselves, right? You're not going to blame Mike Smith on that deflection goal, but you're also not going to blame anything else but Mike Smith on the first goal of the night. So it is what it is. Flames, Maple Leafs tomorrow on Wednesday Night Hockey. Keeping much, watch that one hopefully. Shot from the point comes in on Mike Smith. The save again. 4:52 to go in this first period. Quinn Hughes, the shot from the point, so that ought to count for some points on my fantasy squad tonight. 2-0 for the Canucks. 8-6 the shots for the Canucks, and Connor McDavid, he's looked dangerous all night. Now Draisaitl out there with the Cahoon and Yamamoto combination. The Canucks work this one off the face-off win. This one blocked in front. Canucks all kinds of pressure, and yes sirree, they're going to bang another one. A soft D play. The Oilers completely lose track of the puck in their own zone. You know exactly what Mike Smith just said after that goal. You don't have to be able to read lips. You just need to read the head action on that one. And the Canucks, well, like I said, guaranteed loss in this one was what I said to open the stream at 7:55 p.m. this evening. Well, you know what? It is what it is. Down 3-0 against the Canucks now. They were due to break out at some point, and that's right what they've done now. Chris Russell loses the man. Draisaitl's nowhere to be seen until the last second. Cahoon's losing his man. And everybody just softly stops skating. And that allows Elias Pettersson to bang that one home. Make it 3-0. And the Canucks have come out hot now. Officially hot in this first period. The Oilers got to get one to stop the bleeding before the end of this. 4 minutes and 43 seconds. Miller and Ben get the assist. That's Jordy Ben for the Vancouver Canucks getting that assist, is now to work the fourth line of the Oilers deep in their own zone, getting to work, trying to get something going. And now back the other way, the Oilers will come. Patrick Russell pushes it into the zone. 4:17 to go in this first period. Patrick Russell creates a turnover, maybe briefly, possibly not a chance, as Tyler Myers, the bigger man, able to stick it ahead and get it to neutral territory. Evan Bouchard rims it in for the Oilers after collecting the puck. This one bobbles for a second. Now Patrick Russell creates the turnover. Chase on gets to it, and that'll allow the Oilers to set up. A reminder, James Neal is in a complete TBA situation. I haven't read any updates. There was a TBA on the protocol list for the Oilers today, so we'll figure out what's going on with James Neal, who was an emergency scratch today at Oilers practice. Now Ryan Nugent-Hopkins sees this puck pushed ahead by the Vancouver Canucks. A turnover there, and the Canucks back the other way. Darnell Nurse finds it behind his own net. He'll fire it ahead. Now, yes, Puljujarvi one-on-one. 3 Canucks coming back into the picture. He's going to fire the shot. Saved in front by Demko, who left a rebound, but briefly, and covers it up seconds later and stops the oncoming Edmonton Oilers. This one, Elias Pettersson, that's a nifty little goal between the legs backhander. And then one-timer. So he's heating up apparently the past couple of games against the Winnipeg Jets. And then this one where all the Oilers completely stop skating. Mike Smith, he can only cover so many Canucks at once. And 3:12 to go in this first period. The Oilers do still find themselves down 3-0. Although there's the top line coming out to try and rescue it once again. This one, though, a lazy play to a quiet area. It's going to allow the Canucks to turn it back the other way. And this one, that one is going to be offside. The Oilers tipped the puck to McDavid, who tipped it back to Puljujarvi, but in one of those, the momentum's going to carry you the wrong way, and that it did. Fewest games to first 150 career points all time in Canucks history. Patrick Sundstrom, that's a name I've never honestly heard before. Elias Pettersson, that's who he's tied with. Pavel Bure, in 130 games he did it. And 160 seconds to go in this period as Josh Archibald's going to work it ahead into the Oilers zone. This third line, or Canucks zone, my goodness, I'm all kinds of discombobulated this evening. My apologies. Long work day and it's an 8 o'clock start. What do you say? As this one, first period, winding down, the Canucks ahead. Mike Smith out to play it. He's going to leave it there near side boards, and now the Oilers back into the neutral zone. They're going to find this puck briefly and chip it ahead into Canucks territory. The Canucks behind their own net looking to break out. They're going to get it up the boards, and that's going to be rimmed in by JT Miller. Again, met by Mike Smith. You know, every time the Canucks rim that puck in, you're going to see Mike Smith coming out to play it. It's not been as effective against Calgary, and that's yet again another costly offside. A stick in the lane there by the Canucks creates the offside for the Oilers. And that's two offsides that could have led to something dangerous in the zone if the Oilers would have been able to get something set up. But offside is offside. 2:03 to go. They really hustled to get the face-off underway. And there's Kailer Yamamoto once again pushing it off the face-off loss, pushing it ahead and getting the Oilers a chance in the zone. This one, the Canucks trying to break out again. But that second line, all kinds of problems for the Canucks trying to get out of their own zone. Kailer Yamamoto trying to deflect this one in. Darnell Nurse, he's going to lead this one in. And it's going to be along the boards. Pushed there by Quinn Hughes to his D partner and up. And out of the zone now, left into the neutral zone. A turnover by the Canucks. Back the other way come the Oilers. Kailer Yamamoto back. Tyson Barrie blocked. And now Barrie will find it near the boards. He'll play it down to Draisaitl, looking to set something up. He's going to Barrie. This one bobbles off and comes to Cahoon. And Mr. Leon Draisaitl bats that one out of the air off of Demko. And it's 3-1 for the Oilers. An absolute broken play, but it's going to get the job done. And the Oilers' 8th shot of the game makes it a 2-goal game. This one blocked off of a Canucks defender. Barrie gets it right back in the corner. He fires it to Draisaitl, who plays it out in front. It deflects. Then it goes there, and it goes through. Actually, Draisaitl doesn't get that one at all, and it's going to be Dominic Cahoon's goal. It squeezed through. Sorry, I thought that was in the air, and that was Draisaitl tapping it in, but it's actually Cahoon squeaking it through Demko, who, when he goes to close his legs, pushes it into the back of the net, and that is why it's 3-1 for the Oilers. First look was deceiving. It's an icing call against the Canucks, one of the only icing calls we've had all period. I think the Oilers had one against them and now one against the Canucks, but Dominic Cahoon has just gone out and scored the Oilers' first goal of the game, assisted by Leon Draisaitl. It'd be a good night to have Draisaitl in your fantasy lineup for sure, starting the night off right in the first period with an assist, and even strength point at that, a plus to his credit, and third goal of the game, season for Dominic Cahoon, assist to Yamamoto and Draisaitl, and now the Canucks at the Oilers' blue line looking to immediately respond. Edler deflected in front by Pearson. That's the second time this game that line's had a dangerous deflection in front. Remember the one off the skate of Bo Horvat, and now the Oilers getting to work trying to get this puck out of their own zone. And yes, Puljujarvi doing whatever it takes trying to get this one off the boards, and now Connor McDavid's going to see this one go across to Barrie or somebody. I think Caleb Jones, in fact. And now 28 seconds remain in the first period. The Canucks in the neutral. They're going to flip it in. Mike Smith's going to deflect that down and perfectly play it to Draisaitl with 18 seconds to go. Yamamoto's got time to work. He's going to flip it out into the neutral instead. Now the Canucks back in their own zone. They're going to work it there, and this is going to pretty much kill the clock unless Mike Smith comes up with a pretty play. 6 seconds to go. Draisaitl meets it there. He's got it across to the D-man. Chris Russell shot, save, and that'll do it with zeros on the clock. Demko makes the last save of the period, and it's the Oilers after a couple of sequences of bad goals getting one late, making it a game. 3-1 for the Vancouver Canucks. After the first period of play, Dominic Cahoon puts the Oilers on the board within the dying minutes. And the Oilers, man, guilty of watching the puck very badly on that first real bad goal of the game. The one Elias Pettersson scored to make it 3-0. And now, well, let's recap it. Let's get it going. 35 people watching. Man, I did not expect that kind of audience. Appreciate everybody tuning in this evening. And you know what? I'm getting messages on Facebook that I called it tonight. We called it, or I think honestly, if you're an Oilers fan, you should have been expecting a loss tonight. I think it's just pretty natural. So that's pretty all right to me that we're in a 3-1 situation and not down 3-0 going into the second period. So let me reply to some messages here, and let's see what we got going on. Looks solid. There we go. A little bit of dead air. A little bit of dead air for your ears. Why not? See what we got going on here. Oh, man. Oh, that water tastes good after a little bit of a long extended break, let me tell you. All right. So 466 people have stopped on by the live stream this evening. Appreciate you guys doing that. That is for sure, as we don't end up usually getting too many people stopping by a live stream at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night. But you know what? That's the case tonight. And now let's get over to Oilers Twitter for the reaction coming from Alex Thomas, the first tweet I see. The Oilers were bad in that period, and this Canucks team isn't exactly confident, imperative to get the next goal. Well, I'd imagine it would be as, yeah, we'll take that one. And example 100 why offside review is junk. This wasn't offside, but they blew it down as offside, negating a potential scoring chance. Okay, so that's Jason Gregor talking about the one where I believe that was Yamamoto stretching out for the offside. Oh. Interesting. So that one Yamamoto chance was not offside. That's really costly because we could have used that, that's for sure. And now let's see what we got going on. What do we got? There is Cahoon. Obviously, everybody reacting to the goal. There's not much else to this Oilers first period, is there? Other than the fact that, yeah, we'll take that goal. First goal similar to Canucks goal, first goal in that the goalie should have made the save. Well, Jason Gregor on point tonight, making a bunch of tweets that make sense this evening. Gregor's on fire. Look for him to keep that going. Wow, okay. Other Oilers fans predicting the loss. That's good. Oilers running hot. Canucks deserving better than they've gotten lately. This one has Canucks win written all over it. 3-0, 15 minutes in. Can't win them all, Oilers fans. That's Mark Spector. Hey, I'm saying that was my message today, too. I'm not kidding here. I was predicting a loss. So if you're seeing me be a little bit too upbeat for your liking, my apologies. But it just is what it is this evening. You know what? You go out there and you win a whole bunch of games in a row. Is what it is. And you end up having to reset. The Oilers, like I said, what have we done? Three-game win streaks separated by losses now. 3-1, 3-1, 1? Or 3-1? More than likely. Anyway, let's take a look here. 11-10 the shots on goal after the first period of play. 15-7 the hits for the Oilers. Again, my favorite line anytime the Oilers are losing the game and leading in the hit column is always to go to that Dallas Eakins. If you're out hitting the team, you're chasing the game. I mean, it's just a funny thing to poke fun at sometimes, and a game that's still totally winnable. 11-10 the face-offs for the Oilers, 6-1 the giveaways for the Canucks, right? So it's not like the Oilers are turning over the puck every chance they get. It's just stupid plays, right? That bad face-off gets Tyler Myers all alone. Tyler Ennis gets a stick in the lane. It's a 2-0 goal. The one by Bo Horvat, he fires it from off the circle along the board and goes past Mike Smith, because I still don't have a proper angle on where that beat Mike Smith. Did it hit him on the ice? Did it go just over the pad? I still don't fully know. The Canucks, though, to their credit, gotten this one out. They've got 10, count them, 10 blocked shots through the first period of play. So that's something to keep in mind there if you're an Oilers fan, is the fact of keep shooting. Some of them are going to get through eventually, and then you should be good to go. The scoring line reads: Bo Horvat, 1:06 into the first period from Nate Schmidt and Elias Pettersson. We've talked about that one, right? That's the one we just talked about. Tyler Myers, we just talked about that one, unassisted. At current, I guess that puck just freed off an Oilers stick. They did originally credit it the assist to Brandon Sutter, but it's now appearing on Sportsnet to have changed to the unassisted marker. Elias Pettersson, this one, while this is the most original kind of like go back to opening night Oilers goal that the Canucks could possibly score, is the Canucks were just working around the zone and the Oilers saw a puck go loose and they just decided to stop skating, stop looking at the puck, and Elias Pettersson's like, thank you very much, and Mike Smith can only guard 3 or 4 different shot angles, not 7 or 8, and that was probably the 5th or 6th one that maybe he could have made the save if he got lucky, but instead it's back in the net, and that made it 3-0. But then Dominic Cahoon, talk about squeaking him home. Well, Dominic Cahoon, similar to Bo Horvat, like Jason Gregor said, squeaking that one through Thatcher Demko, a couple more leaky ones like that, and suddenly this game's tied up without a doubt. Kyler Yamamoto, his 5th assist of the season on that Cahoon marker, and don't forget Leon Draisaitl scoring his 21st assist of the season on that Cahoon marker there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the intermission rolls on. We keep it going. We'll get back to Twitter for some interesting takes here on the Oilers, I'm sure. Leon Draisaitl drops a not before heard nickname for Nugent Hopkins after the morning's skate. Nuggy? That's okay. They're calling him Nuggy? Are you sure it's not supposed to be Nugie? But I guess it's Nuggy. I don't know how Draisaitl said it. I was not able to hear the pregame stuff because, again, I was driving around all over Calgary today. Trust me, when a guy's taking Crowchild Trail, it's a crazy day in my life. And I was taking Crowchild Trail today. And it looks like these on-the-bench interviews really make it seem like it's the end of the game with the headset and the hat and all that. But Bo Horvat talking to the guys upstairs and getting the job done mid-intermission here as the Oilers trying to get this one back into control. But I guess we'll find out what happens here in this second period. There's not much going on, but that second look at that Cahoon mark, that's a squeaker. That is a complete squeaker into the net, and thankfully for the Oilers, we'll take it because that one was much, much needed. All right, so what else can we find for stats this period? How about some ice time markers? Feels like McDavid played a ton. Feels like we saw some Nurse in that period. And Darnell Nurse, we saw a total of 6 minutes and 47 seconds. Would you compare that with, I don't know, Dominic Cahoon, who we saw 6 minutes and 34 seconds of? Or I don't know, Adam Larson, who's a -2 with 7:26. Chris Russell, who's leading the Oilers in ice time, 7:33 and a -2. I guess get it out of your system now and get those guys all the ice time in the first period and let Barry and Nurse eat in the second and third. I guess that's the coaching strategy tonight. I'm not sure. Evan Bouchard saw 6 minutes and 31 seconds on the ice, so ice time fairly spread out between the 3 pairings. Where's Caleb Jones? 5:40 on the ice, and of course Connor McDavid, 7 minutes and 2 seconds. You've got Tyler Ennis at 4:20, Gaetan Haas 2:17. So that fourth line really hasn't seen much at all ice time. They're on pace for all of about, I don't know, 7.5 minutes tonight. But when you're trailing by 3, I guess your top dogs are going to have to try and get something done for you. And that would be why you see McDavid and Draisaitl kind of elevated. But at the same time, it's okay. It's okay that their ice time's elevated because we rested them. We rested them at the end of that game against the Calgary Flames. So we'll take what we get this time, and we'll work with the conditions we have. A 3-1 game going into the third or second period, down 2 and rested legs. It's okay. We'll be fine. 8:54 to go. Let me tell you, if this one gets running up a little bit for the Canucks, I'll be out after the end of the second because guys starting to fade fast here. This little bit of break in the action's wearing me down quite quickly. But that's okay. Like I said, we'll battle through. It's going to be all right. As I'm still, I don't know if you guys have seen, if you're a long-time viewer or even a medium-term viewer on Dolynny TV, as long as this isn't your first time, you'd be kind of accustomed to the whole setup, the green screen, the jerseys, the lights flickering and stuff. But recently, the weirdest thing in the world has happened here in the Dolynny TV studios. My other light, so I have one that's right over top of my setup here, just to my left. But the light to the right, suddenly the other night flickered on. It flickered on and then it flickered off. And now it's flickered on and flickered off several times over about the past week. But now every time I turn on the light, it stays on. So there's a measurable, bigger amount of light in here messing with me. And it's quite something to behold now because I'm not very used to having this much light down here, having the white screens on and everything. But hey, you know what? Light it up, I guess. And hopefully the Oilers go in and light it up in that second period. See how I can bring it all back to the Oilers? I don't know. Crazy stuff happens, right? Just telling you right now as we're closing out this hour, 55 minutes into the hour, we are at 626 views here on this Dolynny TV live stream. Appreciate you guys being alongside with me. And now we've got Sean Bell, who had a total of 1 assist in 20 NHL games, coming up on the panel here with Gene Principe. And let me see if I can get you a number on the watch time. I always like to bring that along. And let me see what we get going here as the watch time. How about that? 1,499 minutes this hour so far. So 1,500 minutes in, 56 minutes. So that is 26 minutes a minute. That's pretty crazy watch time, let me tell you. I can't imagine people out there in the world spending 26 minutes combined a minute watching me on the internet, but it is what it is, and thank you very much. As we're getting closer to this second period getting back underway, we've got some updated stats on the Oilers so far. 11-9 the shots after the first period, 15-7 the hits for the Oilers, 11-10 the faceoffs, 6-1 the giveaways, clean penalty sheet, 2-2 the takeaways, and the block shots favor the Canucks 10-7. So there you go. That, my friends, is what you need to know about the stat sheet so far. Like I said, the ice time is all kinds of different tonight. But I guess we'll find out what the Oilers bring in this second period. That's going to be the difficult thing for sure, is seeing the effort the Oilers bring. Hopefully a better effort, because we need a better effort than we had in the first. Again, you know what? I'm not going to get too angry about the first two goals. But the puck watching on the third goal when you're already down 2, that, my friends, is going to set me off a little bit. And it will probably for the rest of the game. The 50-50 pot sitting at $309,000. Whew, what a guy wouldn't take to win about $155,000 right about tonight. That'd be all right. But that said, I haven't bought a single 50-50 ticket yet this year. I've been good. Saving the money. That's how you afford reverse retro jerseys, right? Yeah, $150,000 would be nice, but a reverse retro jersey would be even nicer. And actually, to my credit, I do know I have somebody on Facebook that won one of the 50-50 pots. Just saying. Not going to name names, but I do know somebody that won one of the 50-50 pots. All right, anyway. The Oilers. You know what? That goal. Puck's on net. Dominic Cahoon, smart little flick shot, butterfly, floating through the air onto Demko, getting the job done, floating through him, floating off him, floating back of the net. And it's a goal that really counts for something, because down 3-0, going late into that period, he needed. Boy, did we need a goal, and we got one. I said, you know what, you can't not get a goal in this period. We did, so now we're good. And you know what, Gene Principe looking good. I still don't understand. I guess the Flames Oilers thing is because it's Sportsnet West and it's a regional Alberta thing, but I guess there's 2 broadcasts for this Canucks Oilers game, and that still confuses me, or else it's the Oilers broadcast for this Canucks game out in Sportsnet Pacific. I don't know how this one works, but again, Sportsnet and regional restrictions and blackouts continue to confuse Tyson. That's really nothing new here on Dolynny TV if you've been around for a while, is I get easily confused, and it just is the way it is, so we'll be okay with that. And let me tell you, one thing I did not expect yesterday, that huge Oilers injury news update video that I did yesterday, that is now just about, by the end of tonight, to cross 2,000 views. I'm sorry. If you watch Dolynny TV regularly enough, I'm going to tell you this right here at home right now. You don't see me hit 2,000 views on a video very often. To hit something like that on 2,000 views, thank you very much for that support there. As we go to our final commercial break of the intermission before we get back to hockey at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, the Oilers set to hopefully bring home a good second period, and then maybe I can just sit here and watch the rest of the game and go to bed. I don't know, maybe. But now we've got the 50-50 jackpot commercial. You like to see that. Connor McDavid and the boys right there. Connor looking all young and fresh in the commercial, as they've got all the things going on here. I believe that's Jason Strudwick in that commercial. I haven't paid enough attention, I guess. You get it going, as there's all kinds of stuff here. 50-50 EdmontonOilers.com. That's where you go find the 50-50 jackpot if you want to go. You got to be 18 plus. Remember, I'm not advertising gambling, but it is for a good cause, and it is something that most of us do occasionally partake in, so keep that in mind, as the 50-50 is something that's still available even when the Oilers are on the road. 701 views this hour, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream tonight. I really didn't know what to expect. I put it together last second. Like, I didn't even have a thumbnail all the way through the first period of this hockey game, but that's okay. Budsy came up clutch, and we got the job done, and now we find ourselves just moments away from getting the game back underway. Maybe if I hit the live button on Sportsnet, yeah, look at that. Boom. I jumped forward about 10 seconds, and we're 10 seconds closer to the start of the next period, the second period, an important period for the Edmonton Oilers. I still don't like those Fanatics jerseys that they advertise because they've got the fake crest to them, whereas you get the authentic, they don't have that kind of plasticky shine, right? This is an actual real feeling crest, and you got the actual design to it, but I don't know. Like, that's the tough part, is this one's officially licensed jersey from Reebok. It's got the real jersey, but the Fanatics jerseys, I am just not a fan. I feel like they are a little bit of a disrespect to what an NHL jersey is. But it's an entry-level jersey, and I mean, you know what? If you have one, no hard feelings. As long as you have a jersey, that's what counts. That's what counts. All right, anyway, 23 shot attempts for the Oilers, 22 shot attempts for the Canucks. Like I said, a lot of block shots for the Canucks. So the Oilers were getting them on net. They were just getting blocked in front. And 14-7 the official hits after the first period, according to the telecast for the Oilers. Like I said, Dallas Eakins, he'd be upset. He'd be talking right now. All right, Connor McDavid telling Gaetan Haas, get in gear and get out there and get it done. You like to see that. A little bit of a fist bump to the pants. And you've got the bench going. I don't know what Nuge is doing there. Is Gaetan Haas taking shifts with Connor McDavid, or what's going on? The bench is all kinds of confused looking out there if they're not in line pairs. That's okay. The Oilers win the opening faceoff. Now back to Chris Russell in his own zone. That's appearing to be the top pair of Chris Russell and Adam Larsson this evening. Not sure why, but they're the most logged ice time D pair of the game so far for the Oilers. They'll take an icing call right off the hop, and while Dave Tippett's sitting there shaking his head, not really sure what to think. He's looking a little upset with this effort so far, and fairly so, right? You're on a 3-game win streak. You expect better. You'd hope for better. The Oilers now in their own zone. They're trying to win this face-off. They do. Adam Larsson down to a knee, rims it off the boards and up and out of the zone. That's potentially been one of the bigger factors for the Oilers, getting those clears out of the zone so far in the past 11 games, whereas they really struggled to go to the zone early in the season. You think that's why Caleb Jones has rode the press box as long as he has until getting back into the lineup due to injury tonight. And now Jordy Ben in the Canucks zone. He's going to work it out, and the Oilers will see the Canucks meet it in the neutral. Pettersson back. He's taken off the puck there by Kyler Yamamoto. A little bit of a size matchup there between those two finally. And now Chris Russell comes in and gives Elias Pettersson not one but two shots with the cross check, gets away with it. It doesn't look like there will be a penalty on the play. The Canucks have it at their own blue line. They flip it ahead, tipped in. This one's going to go down on Mike Smith, who just calmly chips it back up the boards. And he's kind of left it at that half wall off of an Oilers stick a couple of times this game. And it's been favorable for them there as the Oilers will meet this puck. Puljujarvi is going to go in with McDavid. McDavid shot, rebound right to Puljujarvi, who, if he was a left-hand shot, puts that home, but instead the right-hand shot, it gets past him, and Mike Smith's going to have this one directed by a Canucks stick onto his glove, frozen against the ice, 18:39 to go. McDavid stonewalled on a beautiful chance here. Puljujarvi had Schmidt all over him. McDavid stopped by Demko just in the nick of time. And the deflection, rebound, not on the stick of Puljujarvi. 3 goals, 1 assist this season against the Canucks for Connor McDavid. Remember, that was part of the hot start for Connor McDavid to start this season. And still what's been a sustained hot start for Connor McDavid. Gaetan Haas out there with, of course, Chiasson and Patrick Russell. It's going to be a tied-up face-off won by the Canucks now. Deflected ahead by Patrick Russell, who's going to just jam this one, almost lose his stick, but the Oilers work it down into the Canucks zone. This one off the boards again, given away there. The Oilers control at the blue line, their own blue line that is, and they'll work it back into their own zone, look for a pass out of the zone. This one's going to be chipped ahead, and this will be fired on down by Gaetan Haas into the Canucks zone. They'll meet it there to do the Canucks. Now this one turned over to Haas. He's going to work this one back. The shot fired, save Demko. And he comes way out of his crease to make that one sliding, but swallows it up. 18:05 to go in the second period of play. Let me tell you. Good little bit of a start for the Oilers. 2 good-looking shots. And, of course, that Connor McDavid chance, if Puljujarvi, let me tell you, if that was Nuge on the wing with him, it would have been a whole different story. Haas passes this one off. Draisaitl, I believe that is, rims that shot on net. Can't get it to go. Or I guess maybe it was Nuge, pardon me. I'm seeing 9s and 2s and stuff all funny tonight. This one off of someone. It'll come out of the zone. And the Oilers will see a face-off offside just outside of the Canucks zone. Travis Green, Dave Tippett, kind of sporting the same kind of hair curls, realistically. Travis Green, a little bit more curly hair, but Dave Tippett, a little bit less curl, but still about the same style and tips there, I'd say. Maybe they exchange some style and tips later tonight, who knows. As the Oilers, we'll see this one played back now across. And Nugent Hopkins meets it at his own blue line. McDavid in flight. He's moving in, cutting to the middle. He's going to see this one lost in a couple of sticks, and the Canucks will come up with it, flip it out into neutral territory. Nuge bats it back to Hoglander, and that is going to be a high stick and a face-off in the neutral. 17:37 to go in this second period between the Oilers and the Canucks. McDavid cutting all the way through, and he just kind of loses his momentum. That puck's chopped off his stick about 3 different times, and it's hard to keep track of that one. Alex Edler, he's gone and done battle with Connor McDavid several times, and actually Alex Edler sporting the gray in the goatee. Crazy to think Alex Edler's played this long, a name very well familiar to Oilers fans at this point. Now the Canucks meet it there. They're going to flip it into the middle of the ice. That's a save for Mike Smith, and the Oilers will start back the other way, the nitty-gritty dirt line as they're called, getting it into the offensive zone. Josh Archibald battles it. Tyler Ennis keeps it alive. Canucks battle it out into neutral there, into the Oilers zone, back to the point. This one, Myers fires, blocked in front. Now Brandon Sutter, he's going to go do battle against Adam Larson, who's hard on him. The Oilers come up with the puck. Nice play there to Ennis, who comes and sees this one bounce off the boards just out of his reach. Maybe not. He's going to get past Ennis or Myers for a second. Tyler on Tyler Crimes there almost. As Tyler Ennis throws a hit and falls to the ice, and the Oilers can't keep this one in. The Canucks fire it down, and now Tyson Barrie gives chase against Pettersson. Cuts right in front of Mike Smith, does Barrie. He'll fire it all the way down the ice. And that, well, you know what? Realistically, compared to what it could have been, probably the best play for Tyson Barrie to take the icing. And that is it. As they've got the iconic LeBron James Lakers photo that we all know. Lakers versus Jazz coming up tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Mountain Time if you want to watch some LA Lakers basketball. I know if you're not a Raptors fan, you're probably a Lakers fan given nowadays, so keep that in mind. As the Canucks win this face-off to the right of Mike Smith, Elias Pettersson dancing around the zone with it. He's going to get it Jordy Ben, who fires it right into the breadbasket of Mike Smith. His 14th shot of the night, his 11th save of the evening. 16:21 to go in the second period. The Canucks, well, that's really their first straight-up dangerous look, as Jordy Ben all kinds of time to shoot. Mike Smith leaning into the post, making sure he's not beat short side, but left the far side post a little unguarded, and that's okay. It doesn't cost him. This face-off doesn't work for either side. We'll have a redone draw, and we'll see what works here this time around. 16:29 to go. 14-11 the shots for the Canucks. The Oilers just about win that one forward now. Quinn Hughes plays that one back to the point partner. Back behind the net. Hauled downs the Canucks Brock Besser, but it's not called a penalty. And how about Leon Draisaitl starting back the other way? He flips it there. This one's going to find the stick of Barrie. Back to Nurse. Realistically, I haven't seen this pair be as dangerous as they normally are, although Barrie had a great play earlier to get that goal going for the Oilers. Now Dominic Cahoon looking back to the point. Barry's going to fire it to Draisaitl. One-timer short side. But Thatcher Demko sprawling all kinds of ways around it to make that save. Trust me, he knew it was coming, but he still had to sprawl into that puck to make the save. He's up to his feet. Looked like he could have been injured on that one, but back up quick. What a deceptive play by Barrie. Just as I said, he hasn't done anything dangerous. How about that one? A nice on the platter to Leon Draisaitl to get the puck over, and for whatever reason, we've got 55 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second period, and they're going to take the shot clock off because it's busted. So there you go. Face off to Demko's. What the heck? 54-80 in the intermission. That's I don't have that much time tonight. I do not have that much time tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you that. We'll go to a little bit of a commercial break here, but I do not have enough time to sit through 50 minutes and some odd of Oilers hockey still this evening. Looks like they've fixed the clock. Leon Draisaitl ready to go. Wearing the A this evening on the reverse retro. Nuge wins it off the face-off now. Nugent Hopkins back to the point. He's got Tyson Barrie there. He'll play it with Barrie. Barrie's working it down low to Puljujarvi, who plays it back in front to Nuge. Nuge fires that one just wide on Demko. And now another shot again. McDavid to Nuge. Stopped by Demko. And this one's going to be back the other way. And that will be, if I can itch my nose here, if I also have to see an icing call against the Vancouver Canucks. Darnell Nurse just threw himself. Held up Bo Horvat. Horvat's not impressed with it. But look at this pass by Puljujarvi onto the tape of Nugent Hopkins, who had to battle off a stick before getting the shot. And then that finally actually goes on net for Nuge. He gets it. And that would have been a beautiful look if he could have got it done. Now Nuge looking for a goal here. Stopped 29 of 30 shots against the Jets on February 19th in a 2-0 loss. Man, Thatcher Demko just not having much luck this season. The Canucks not putting up good performances in front of him. Another icing call here against the Vancouver Canucks. Nugent Hopkins setting up for this one. Now McDavid, he wins it back to Nuge. Nuge takes it immediately off the face-off. He falls down. Puljujarvi behind the net. He goes to play it. Now it goes to Pearson, who's going to play it there. And up and out for the Canucks, and they'll chip it ahead. Darnell Nurse gets beat on the stiff stick work of Niels Hoglander. That was just a straight put the stick down and chop the puck, and that he did right up over top of Darnell Nurse. However, nothing doing for the Canucks. The Oilers pick it up behind their own net. Tyson Barrie still out there. He headmans it ahead to Alex Chiasson, who deflects it on to Thatcher Demko. Held and froze. 14:42 to go in the second period. And let me tell you, it's been a good game so far. You know what? This Oilers team, they haven't gone away. They haven't crumpled in down 3-0 and just given up the game. So that's the welcome sign if you're an Oilers fan tonight. Just seeing this Oilers team keep going to work against the Canucks and trying to generate chances. And against a more fragile team in the standings, you might as well. Nothing much to lose there. Caleb Jones lines up in the one-timer position off the face-off. You've got Evan Bouchard looking for that wrist shot option. Now the three men are going to talk it over. Russell, Bouchard, and Jones, a trio that has spent some time together in Bakersfield I believe. I think Bouchard was there at one point in the playoffs when Patrick Russell was still down there. 14:58 to go in this second period for the Canucks and Oilers. Gaetan Haas looking to cheat the face-off. He's going to get told to back up, does Russell. And now the face-off win by Haas. He gets it to Bouchard, who chipped it down low. Haas is trying to turn over this puck. Chiasson bumps the man off. Haas gets it back. Now Patrick Russell back to Caleb Jones. Pitch and catch there with Bouchard. The shot comes from Jones. He fires it high and wide. Now Haas back to Chiasson. Chiasson's going to battle it far side, half wall. He'll get it down to Patrick Russell. The fourth line officially going to work. Now this one out of the reach of Haas, but Jones keeps it in. Nice play. And the Canucks off the chip, able to chip it out of the zone down the ice, and Bouchard gives chase. He's got Jones. Jones gathers the puck at his own near dot. This one works up. Sutter's going to fire it in, and Mike Smith. Oh yeah, it's a chip in for the Canucks. So yes, Mike Smith's going to come out and play that. And now this one fired into the neutral territory by the Oilers, turned over to Jordy Bennett at his own blue line, and the Canucks pitch and catch in their own zone as they try to set up an attack through and break in. As there we go, the Oilers that time get the turnover at their own blue line, and now Tyler Ennis out hustling the man, but looks like he's going to be caught with a high stick and call. The man Quinn Hughes goes down to the ice, and now you just hope there isn't any blood on the play, because that would be a 4-minute power play for the Canucks and probably kill whatever momentum the Oilers have gained by coming out hard in this second period, let me tell you. All right, just about approaching 50 likes on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for that. That is much appreciated this evening. And let me tell you what else we've got going on for this game so far. It looks like it's only going to be a 2. That's what was assessed on the ice. That's good. That's solid. We can kill that off and potentially get a shorty and get the job done. Let me tell you, that would be an added benefit. So as we quickly go to commercial here, give you some updated stats on the live stream so far. Things are looking good. Things are looking solid in this start of the stream. How about, we were talking about 1,600 minutes last hour. How about 2,100 minutes watched last hour? Do some quick math on that. That is, my friends, 35 hours of content watched in 1 hour. That's over a day's worth of live stream on Dolynny TV. Very much appreciate you guys being a part of that this evening. And of course being here alongside with me, trying to make sense of knowing the Oilers were probably going to lose tonight, but also watching the Oilers lose tonight, right? That's the hard part. You can be prepared to lose all you want. Doesn't make it any easier. Let's see what else we got. So, Josh Donaldson's dancing. Well, Josh Donaldson hasn't been relevant since he left the Blue Jays, so that's all. Wasn't smart enough. Alright, so bet placed, team to score next. So it's a 1.6. Oh my goodness, people are betting on the Oilers to score next. Well, unfortunately, the Canucks now with a power play. That's a tough go for us, but it is what it is. And I'll give you a second here if we've got time to before this puck gets dropped. If you're new to the channel and you're enjoying what you're seeing, I mean, I'm flubbing at best tonight, but if you want to stick around and hopefully watch me get it right another night this week, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around Dolynny TV. No game review this evening. Got to work tomorrow morning. It's an 8 o'clock game. Just don't have time for that. If the internet was any faster, sure. But you know what? Got to wind down and get to bed. As the Canucks win the face-off, they're getting to work here off of the face-off win. They're behind the Oilers' net, now near side corner. Canucks get it back to the blue line. Quinn Hughes pitches it across. There's the shot, comes in. Mike Smith, solid and steady, bleeding into the net, but he makes the save. And that will be another shot for the Canucks. Yet again, Elias Pettersson. Yeah, he's had a couple of great one-timers on the power play recently. That one knocked off Connor Hellebuck's mask. Yeah, Hellebuck looked a little shaken up there, and that one back in the net finally for Elias Pettersson against the Jets. The one they lost in OT. 1:43 to go in the power play. The Canucks, they scramble up the draw with the Oilers, and the Oilers trying to chip this one ahead, and that's exactly what they're going to do as it goes off Canucks stick out of the zone and down the ice. Elias Pettersson picks this one up. However, look at that work by Josh Archibald to get in on the forecheck and hold up the Canucks power play, and they aren't going to get back into the zone until a minute 20 left in the power play. This one, though, a man gets around. Big save by Mike Smith off the shot. Canucks at the blue line, they work it there. Quinn Hughes is going to fire it down. Darnell Nurse standing in front. This one wide of the net on the Elias Pettersson one-timer. He is not afraid to whip it from anywhere. That's the weird part about him. He'll fire a one-timer anywhere you give him on the ice. 59 seconds to go. Mike Smith, the slot shot save from Bo Horvat. 12:47 to go in the second period. The Oilers a little under siege on that last sequence by the Canucks. I can't even do a good enough job describing it. As, man, Bo Horvat just walks around the man, and then this one, the shot not happening, but the pass happening, and then bang, from the slot. I don't know what Adam Larsson's doing on the ice other than playing snowman, but defense is questionable at times this game so far. 52 seconds to go in the power play now. The Canucks at the blue line. Another rip shot blocked in front there by the Edmonton Oilers, and this puck's going to come off the glass, out of play. 12:31 to go. Face off in the Oilers zone. Caleb Jones seeing some time penalty killing. Keep that in mind. Caleb Jones just saw a shift penalty killing. We talk about him not doing much penalty killing, but he's out there doing it. 43 seconds to go in the power play. 12:31 to go in the second period. Time winding down already. Oilers, they'll just do all their work in the second half. Why not, right? Nugent Hopkins and, of course, Juju Arcaro out there with Darnell Nurse and Adam Larsson. The second unit looks to be taking effect for the Vancouver Canucks. Now Niels Hoglander has it there. What an excellent weapon to have on your second power play unit by the looks of it so far this season. Pass, shot, deflection, whatever you want to call it. The Canucks have tried it again. Now the one-timer shot off of Mike Smith, of arm maybe, I don't know. But either way, it's going to come back the other way. The Oilers are going to be able to chip it up to Nuge. Now Nuge to Kara, but it's blocked there by Tyler Myers, who will get it back the other way for the Canucks. And the big man sees it in his skates. He'll chip it across the blue line. And the Canucks are once again setting up the attack with 7 seconds to go in the power play. Nate Schmidt, one-timer, absolutely clubbed wide. And this one's going to go down the ice back into Canucks territory. Wipe the penalty off the slate. And we're back to 5-on-5. 11:42 to go in the second period. The Oilers in on the attack right away. Connor McDavid turning this puck over. Now 2 Oilers converge on the puck. Brandon Sutter trying to battle it there with Puljujarvi and Draisaitl. This one's going to be flicked ahead now by the Canucks to Brandon Sutter, who will break the line. And they're into the offensive zone once again. Shot saved by Mike Smith from the blue line. That's Bo Horvat firing that puck. Mike Smith coming out to play that one awkwardly. Caleb Jones up with it now. He'll play it across to Chris Russell. Chris Russell looking for this puck now to Jones. Jones will chip it off a skate. Ill-advised pass, but thankfully Chris Russell is back. The Canucks, they have the long change from their own zone, but advantageous if they get a chance at the Oilers' blue line. We're going for a change accidentally like they almost did there. Oilers set up the attack in the Canucks zone. Jones looking, waiting, looking for the shot. He's going to chip it into danger. He does. Doesn't get it going. This one, a nice flick into the middle by McDavid, looking for anybody on the ice to be dangerous. Now Draisaitl, he's got the puck across to McDavid, who did not expect that puck to come to him. Now Nurse chips it down to Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi to Draisaitl. Puljujarvi will go chasing after that puck, and this one bats off the end boards. Canucks looking for this one. Somebody's going to come up with it, and how about Connor McDavid? Connor McDavid dashes through a man, through a 2, and Draisaitl comes up with the loose puck. Now Tyson Barrie out there. He's going to dish off to Connor McDavid. The Oilers toying with the tired Canucks in their own zone. Brandon Sutter, one of the men out there for the Canucks. Now they get a line change. Extra man coming because of a delayed penalty. Now the Oilers looking. The shot. Barrie not going to get it going, and it's going to be down to McDavid, who leaves it there for Alex Chiasson. Shot fired wide, and this one's going to go off the glass, and Connor McDavid maintains possession. McDavid across to Draisaitl. Draisaitl fakes the shot, goes across to Chiasson, who didn't have the one-timer. Now back to Barrie. This is a long shift on the delayed penalty. Barrie in front sees this one deflected and touched by a Vancouver Canucks stick at long last. It looks like an interference call against the Vancouver Canucks, and what applied pressure by the Edmonton Oilers on that 6-on-5 empty net advantage with the man out due to the delayed penalty. Absolutely crazy play there to get that going. Guy almost ran out of steam there trying to call that, that's for sure. All right. Anyway, we find ourselves now across 50 likes again. Appreciate that, guys. You have absolutely rocked the support on this live stream. I did not expect anything like, I mean, that Calgary Battle of Alberta, it was a Hockey Night and telecast, so it's a national broadcast, so I expect a lower crowd, but at the same rate, my goodness, absolute insanity to see 37 people hanging out, not being able to chat with me this evening. Again, right? I think if you're watching tonight's live stream and you've stuck around for more than half a minute, is the fact that you're seeing I'm a lot more focused, I'm a lot more on top of things, and even when I stumble, I'm able to regain my composure without getting distracted too quickly. So it's nice to be focused in on things this evening and like in that Battle of Alberta, because man, it is very nice to remember things post game as opposed to just remember some weird comments or something that popped up in the chat. That's for sure. Commercial time means, well, we should throw in an ad here and get things going. Let me see. Budsy would not be impressed if I don't throw you the ads. Trust me. Everybody else seems to care. I seem to forget. I'm hilarious that way. So let's see. What do we got? Nothing going on? Okay. Nothing happening. We'll get to the power play. How about that? Let's get to the power play. Connor McDavid, he's set for the face-off draw here. And look at this one. Just a beautiful move. And that's going to be a slash. Ooh, man. Okay, so that's actually a slash. It wasn't interference. It was down lower. It was a slash. It could have been either or based on what I saw. Now Draisaitl in the face-off dot. My pardon. And he's going to push this one ahead. There's a three-man pile-up, and this one's going to come all the way out of the Canucks zone. It's Chase on Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Barry on the power play. Of course, James Neal, TBA on what's going on with him. And now back the other way, the Oilers across the zone. Tyson Barrie flicks it in against Alex Edler. It's along the end boards now. The Canucks flip it down the ice because I don't know even who was at the blue line. I don't think anyone was. They could have just dumped it into the neutral and probably had a breakaway if the Canucks would have been able to flick the zone fast enough. Draisaitl trying to set up the attack here. Already a half minute gone on the power play, and that could have easily been a hold against Draisaitl, but they're not going to call it, and McDavid will bust into the Canucks zone. Along the near side wing, he's going to work behind the net. Now back to Nuge, who sees it. Leaves it there for Barry. Barry back to Nuge. He's going to work this one along the half wall. He'll go back to Barry. Barry across. And it's going to be ripped in and blocked. And that one kind of stunned everybody. And a Canucks stick just flicks it out of the defensive zone. And back into the Oilers territory are the men in the white jerseys with the orange and blue trim. Tyson Barrie turns it over briefly and actually left there. And this one's going to go back. Bailed out. Big time on the chance. Mike Smith, a huge save on the penalty kill to keep this one a 3-1 game and not kill all Oilers momentum. Now you got to sniff a goal here if you're the Oilers. You need a goal bad. Shot McDavid off of the arm or shoulder of Thatcher Demko and up and out of play, and that was an absolutely brutal play by the Oilers power play in their own zone. Antoine Roussel gets the chance, and this one just right there, Connor McDavid blows by the puck. And I guess if it's anyone, thank goodness it's Antoine Roussel, because weak sticks there in the defensive zone. Mike Smith pulling the NHL 21 rabbit out of the hat, going to the spread eagle to make the save. And thankfully the Oilers keep it a 3-1 game now in the own zone. They're going to get it going, the O zone that is, not the own zone. There's power play with 19 seconds to go. They're going to chip it across. Nuge can't get it, even though a perfectly weighted pass by Draisaitl to get it over the sprawled man. Now he's going to battle this. McDavid at the point. Draisaitl looking for the one-timer. It's Nurse over to Draisaitl, who leaves it out in front of Draisaitl. Draisaitl now looking to take the shot. Going to pass it down low, and oh, what a chance there. Nuge fed Puljujarvi. The rebound comes out to Nugent Hopkins, and now McDavid a chance in front. This one's going to be chipped. Nuge looking to come up with this puck. Maybe no, he's far side. That was Draisaitl on the far side, in fact. And this one's going to be flicked back into the Oilers territory. A little bit of scrambly play gets me a little confused watching on one television feed, but now McDavid's going to play this one here. A trip in front, and bad power play leads to a penalty kill. As Gaetan Oss is going to go to the penalty box here. 7:13 to go in the second period. And a perfectly weighted pass by Nugent Hopkins gets it to Puljujarvi. The puck comes out, all kinds of scrambling in front of Demko, who, to his credit, he's been solid tonight for the Vancouver Canucks, but a sloppy play in front by Gaetan Oss costs the Oilers a penalty, and now Back to the penalty kill go the Edmonton Oilers for the second time this period. Thankfully, no power play goal for the Canucks last time around. Are you going to be as lucky twice over? I'm not sure. Jujhar Khaira, he's going to tie up the face-off. Again, a kind of common theme in this period so far for the Oilers. And now the Canucks, they're going to wind up the shot. This one's going to go into the corner near side. Canucks back. Quinn Hughes, he's going to play it across to the D partner, JT Miller, who's taking a shift at the D line. I guess that's how the Canucks are setting up the play, is the Canucks just really firing this one at will through the Oilers defense on the penalty kill. Elias Pettersson looking to get it going. The passes have been good. The shots not so much so far. Another block in front by Adam Larsson. This one chipped. And now Jujhar Khaira is going to get it past, and that'll be Josh Archibald. Remember, Nuge just spent 2.5 minutes on the ice, if not more, so you don't have him available on the first probably a minute and a half of this penalty kill. So you got Khaira and Archibald out there, and of course you don't have Haas because he's in the box. That means Kyler Yamamoto's out there killing penalties. He's tripped up, trying to get too much momentum on the man. He's now chasing. The Canucks back the other way. 55 seconds to go in the penalty to Gaetan Haas. This one cut off there niftily by Caleb Jones, who's seen an increased amount of penalty kill time tonight compared to probably earlier in the season, but it's something they're probably testing out as now. You see Nugent Hopkins is out there for the Oilers on the penalty kill. 38 seconds to go in the power play. The Oilers control it into the corner. The Canucks still with the puck, though. Chris Russell, though, he comes up with it off of a loose stick from Brock Besser, and 25 seconds remain in the Canucks power play. Quinn Hughes quarterbacking now out of his own zone. Jujhar Khaira back on the ice for the Oilers. Hughes looking for the pass. He gets it. Pitch and catch through the neutral back into their own territory. The Canucks go fire it into the Oilers zone. Mike Smith with 9 seconds on the power play. Flick ahead. And Josh Archibald chasing it all the way down. Perfectly weighted there again by Mike Smith. What a puck handler. He almost could have scored an empty netter if it was available there, the way he had time there. Tyler Myers winds through the Oilers zone. Fires the shot high and over top of the net. 5:04 to go in this second period. This one batted back there. Tanner Pearson, he gets it back down to Niels Hoglander. The power play, like I said, over. I just swallowed wrong there. As the Canucks back into the slot now, a second chance at it. They fire wide. That one there by Niels Hoglander. Can't get it going on net. Now the Canucks still have it at the blue line. That's Tyler Myers seeing that puck blocked by Gaetan Haas. And now Leon Draisaitl back the other way. 2-on-1. This shot back. Oh my goodness. What is Connor McDavid doing? Trying to pass that one back to Leon Draisaitl on the 2-on-1. You knew who it was 2-on-1 with Draisaitl, but now Caleb Jones, he's going to fire it up to Nugent Hopkins, or actually that's Nuge. Fires it off the post, and that one stays out. That could have been 3-2, but it's off the post, and it'll be played with a high stick. And now all of a sudden, you've got Antoine Roussel throwing punches with Jesse Puljujärvi. Absolutely mugged him. And now you've got Nugent Hopkins immediately in there throwing fire into Roussel's face. And I think Roussel will be heading to the box, getting a little bit too testy. And I would not imagine that possibly not being a 2 and a 10. Puljujärvi, not a clue what's happening there. As Nugent Hopkins hits the crossbar. And then Puljujärvi goes in. Ooh, I don't know. Puljujärvi might have thrown a little bit of a glove punch or an elbow into Roussel's grill there. That may have been, according to Roussel, actually warranted. I'm not sure what happened, but that was quite the sequence. Roussel threw the gloves immediately, and Puljujärvi absolutely not ready for it, and he's checking for blood, that's for sure. Feisty Nuge sighting. Yeah, Nuge is looking good. That was a nice play to come to the defense of Jesse Puljujärvi. You like to see that. That's a solid, awesome thing to see. And yeah, nobody lays a finger on Jesse. Oilers Nation hits it on the head there. And yeah, massive save by Mike Smith. And there's fruit flies in the studio. What the hell is going on here? And here we go. What do we got? First power play coming up. Yeah, I really, the Oilers really have to stop getting excited about power plays on the Twitter, because it just keeps costing us excitement. And why Why did Roussel just feed him uppercuts? That's Canucks fans tweeting that. Ladies and gentlemen, Canucks fans is confused about Antoine Roussel's play there as we are. But either way, if the Oilers power play gets another chance here, I'm going to take it and I'm going to love it. That's for sure. And man, McDavid looking to feed Draisaitl back, but it would have really been nice if he would have just taken that shot and rifled it. No look. And here's the play. So Puljujarvi gets rough and tumble with Roussel, but like just rough and tumbling. Roussel doesn't care. He's throwing the gloves. Puljujarvi's cut on the nose. It's a 2-minute power play for the Oilers. I'm surprised. Roussel's probably... Should he have gotten a 10 for that? But either way, Oilers back to the power play. It's roughing on Roussel. I mean, those were some haymakers throwing uppercut style. And now Barry's looking at it at the blue line. The Oilers controlling the Canucks zone. They're looking to set up the play now, toying with the Canucks a little bit more, slowing it down. You like to see this pitch and catch and make it slow and make them work. And now Draisaitl, one-timer shot on Demko, the save. 3:49 to go in the second period. $1:36 left in the power play. It's nice. You know what? That's something we haven't seen a ton of multiple times over in a game unless it's late this year. But how about that? Draisaitl winding up the one-timer several times in this second period and looking good doing it. And there's Alex Chiasson going to work in front, trying to battle his man, and he loses there, and he's looking for the rebound. Can't bury it because there ain't one, and 3:49 to go in the second period. 6 for 18 the Oilers power play in the last 5 games. That's Super Stat brought to you by Sportsnet, of course. Now the Oilers power play gets back to work on a face-off win. Back to Barry. Barry's going to shoot this puck. It's going to bobble right through the crease. No chance there for the Oilers to deflect that in. Alex Chiasson, that is. As now Nugent Hopkins plays off the stick that was broken free of Draisaitl. Now McDavid collects it at center ice. He's going to cut in and cut out and cut to the middle. He's going to cut through, and he's just cutting all over the ice, not really doing much. Now Barry gets it going there. Barry's going to see if he can get it over to Draisaitl. Draisaitl's got it. Draisaitl back to Barry. This one's going to be flipped into the neutral off a stick. 58 seconds remain in the power play, and for whatever reason, the clock bleeding down a lot slower here than it was on that first power play. So it seems McDavid onside to Nugent Hopkins to the middle. Oh, what a chance there for Draisaitl. He misfires. And now Draisaitl's going to go back to the point to McDavid. McDavid's walking in. He sees it poked off his stick. He plays it back to Barry. Barry's got Draisaitl open. McDavid maybe now has Draisaitl open. He fires it right to the middle. And that's turned over to a Canucks stick. Flipped off the glass and out of the Canucks zone. 25 seconds to go. An extended shift here for the Oilers power play as they desperately try to get something going in the dying seconds of the power play. Now Yamamoto out there for some power play time. Barry, he's got it down. He's going to play it down to Draisaitl. Draisaitl looking for options. Yamamoto out in front. Nuge looking for an option. Back to McDavid. McDavid back to Nuge. Nuge sneaking in down to Draisaitl. Draisaitl back to Nuge. Doesn't get it going. Power play is now expired. Draisaitl along the near side or far side half wall. He works there. Barry goes back to him now. Nuge looking for an option. He's got McDavid. Can't get the pass through. And this one's going to be cleared up the boards by Edler. And out of the zone, not yet. Nice turnover by the Oilers. They're going to get it going. McDavid in on net. Shoots it, and that was as close as it's going to be. McDavid rings it off the corner of the crossbar, and Demko can't believe that one stayed out. That was a laser by McDavid. Sorry, my heart skipped a beat, and I was looking for the goal call there. As this one, a nice play, a stick cut. McDavid keeps it alive. The pass comes and finds him. And I think that's in. I think that's in and out. Oh, no way. Wow. That's as close to in as you can possibly get. Off the top of the crossbar and down and out. That ain't the way tonight it's going to go. My goodness, yeah, they're reviewing this one now. As you have to. It is as close to being in as it's going to get, but I don't know. And they're going to bring this to center ice, and we're going to have the official call now. No goal. Yeah, that one didn't take too long. That was a couple of good looks, and yeah, wow, absolutely tough. That is a great chance for McDavid, and Demko's sitting there almost beaten, but not quite. He's been beaten once on 20 shots, rocking a .950 save percentage this evening. McDavid unimpressed with his stick, unimpressed with the evening, unimpressed with everything. A $1.51 to go in the second period now. Kara, now with the face-off, it's lost back. The Canucks start out of their own zone. Besser back to Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes across to Tyler Myers, or maybe that's Ulevy. I can't see. That's somebody. I think it's Ulevy. But either way, the Oilers in the neutral zone now. They'll flip it in. Does Caleb Jones, and a $1.31 to go in the second period. That'll be played there, and Tyler Myers sees the puck tied up by Josh Archibald. It's amazing what the Oilers small guys have been able to manage against Tyler Myers tonight. And now it looks like the Oilers small guys have actually injured Tyler Myers, who's holding his wrist in the defensive zone as the Oilers have it at their own blue line. Caleb Jones plays it up there to Jujhar Khaira. Khaira will carry it in, and he'll be looking for an option here. Shot fired onto Demko, and that will be held. And actually, pardon me, it's the Canucks with 20 shots. Demko now beaten once on 19 shots. The save made there on that one. My goodness, all right. Tucker out here, hoping for a better result in that third period, but right now, time winding down. You'd like to get another late one if you're the Oilers. Khaira did exactly what he needed to do on that shift. Looking like he's got a little bit of a mark on his face after taking some kind of stick or something on there, and now skate on us in the fourth line getting to work. They'll tie up the face-off and draw it right back behind the net. Chase on, battle in there. You'd like to see a fourth line goal here if we could. Inside the last minute of the period, back to the blue line. The Oilers fire it down and around. Chris Russell's activating from the blue line. He pinched, and now that allows Chase on to throw an elbow on Jay Beagle. And this one's back to the blue line. Jayton Oss, the blast goes behind the net, over top or beside or missed wide. Now all kinds of battle out of both of what appears to be the fourth lines for the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers, and both teams going to work in the Canucks zone. One team trying to get the puck out and one team trying to keep the puck in. Haas turns the puck over, fires it into the corner, and now Puljujarvi over top of the boards. He's out there looking freshly bandaged up. The Oilers keep it in. Chris Russell with a beautiful pinch. 12 seconds to go. Demko out to play the puck. Mad scramble, hopefully going to ensue here in the last few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to go. Puljujarvi, Nugent Hopkins trying to free that puck up. And a nice tie-up by Jake Virtanen along the end boards to get the whistle done. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the second period of play. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think, you know what, it's time to go have second supper. Call her an evening. Appreciate you guys' support on the live stream tonight. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. I'm going to catch you a little bit later tomorrow after work, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening.